Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Band of Anime Reactions. And this is going to be my review for Rosario Plus Vampire Season 2, Episode 4. And this is more of a Yukari centric episode, where she essentially wants to be more adult because she's a kid and she wants Scooty's attention, and he would never go after a kid. She knows because, well, he's not a pedophile. What am I saying? He's not even a pedophile himself because he has to be an adult for that to happen. He's essentially not attracted to her as a child. So she wants to be more, grown up. She ends up going to the nurse's office and kind of, talking about how she really wants to be an adult. And the nurse talks to her and tells her she can make that happen. And she ends up getting her in the neck with some sort of injection from her finger. I don't know. Could somebody tell me what she is? From what I've read about her, she's a monstral, and I think that's the only instance that we see in the anime about this. But I think they're half human, half monster. I could be wrong, but I have no idea. But anyway, when Yukari wakes up, she's a lot taller, has a big chest, but yeah, she essentially looks more like an adult. And everybody essentially notices to the point where they don't even recognize her because they are used to her as a kid. So they think she's not even Yukari at this point, but she has to convince them essentially. And she convinces everybody, her friends essentially, by dropping some pans or whatever they were onto their heads, which is her signature move apparently. So yeah, everybody essentially is, all the guys are going gaga at the new her because of her, her chest. And the guy who's the fan of her from episode 3, 4, he's all upset that essentially the Yukari he knew is gone. Essentially, he's upset about that. Anyway, hang on. Okay, anyway, yeah, essentially, they're physical. I guess you could say they're physical. Or what they consider a physical is coming up, where they get their chest measured, their height measured, stuff like that. And yeah, Yukari is still trying to get Scooty's attention, and he's obviously not wanting to look at her because, she's a child that has an adult body, essentially, and he knows it's wrong. And Ruby is helping to do the, the physicals, and according to her, it's another long story, and I'm like, okay, we get it. Your whole thing is that it's a long story. Anyway, yeah, she starts to have doubts that she's not sexy enough, and she goes to the nurse and asks her to make them bigger, essentially, because she thinks that's, it's not getting Scooter's attention. So, yeah. And we find out that essentially, yeah, that woman was using her to feed off of her negative energy and despair. And that essentially, if Yukari defeats her, she'll go back to her normal size, chest and all. And she ends up getting her again with, her needle finger. And while she's out of it, she has a bit of an epiphany, realizing that, yes, she was in a full adult body at that time, but she was still a child, and mentally. And that she needed to, grow up mentally in order to be able to, fit her adult body. And as she's talking to herself in her head, you can hear the fighting going on in the background, and Scary Mocha ends up making an appearance and kicking the butt of the nurse. And we still don't know, they never explain what she is. As far as I heard, anyway. And when Yukari comes to, yeah, they end up going back to the exam, and she's back to her usual size, and everybody's kind of confused as to what the heck happened. And apparently, she had grown half a centimeter since The year started, which is good. Hopefully she'll get a growth spurt at some point. So yeah, she knows she needs to grow up more in order to be even, for even Scooty to even have a chance at considering her in a romantic way. And she actually ends up stealing his first kiss, as far as I know. Because she pops up and acts like, how Mocha does with the lips popping out and everything, but it's actually a kiss instead of her biting him. So, yeah. So Yukari steals Tsukune's first kiss. So, yeah, could somebody explain to me what the nurse was, monster form-wise, because they never explain it, and they don't even explain it early in the character info that I tried to look up. So, except that she's a monstral, and that's the only instance that we see of one of those in the anime. And yeah, I already recorded up to episode 9, so we only have 4 episodes left, and I highly doubt they're going to introduce that so late in the show. Anyway, I will try and get some more of these out. I can't guarantee that they'll come soon, but I hope to see you guys next time.